Oh boy, what do we got to talk about today? Alright. Hello. It's your boy, yes, Page Meister. Autistic Artistic. It's fun purpose. Yeah, but today I would like to, discuss a new, it's not new, it's a Richard Bachman book. I believe published in like the early 1990s, I believe 1991 maybe 93, I'm not certain. I know the movie came out in 1996 or something, but it's called Thin Air, published by Richard Bachman, one of his only books. I believe there's like 5 or 6 of them. One of them went out of print posthumously. But yeah, so Thin Air is something I believe is one of shows Bachman's true kind of skill with the craft of writing, because it's about a man who grows thinner and thinner, which, although may not seem that surprising, like, ask Alex Trebek about it. I know I saw that man do the same thing. But so the book is about 400 pages, and it's a little more. Honestly, it makes it a little more complex than a dark joke. So the book is about a wealthy lawyer named Bill Halleck, and Bill Halleck is this guy who, he kind of engorges himself quite a bit. He's over like 350 pounds or something by the time the book starts. Oh, and by the way, the chapters aren't like, 1, 2, 3. It's the weight he's at, at the time of the narration of that chapter, which I thought was pretty good touch. Nice. But he was out one night at his wife at Ginelli's. He will come back to relevance in a very dark way. And he's speeding a bit. He's going through his New Hampshire town. And his wife gets the bright idea to give him some digital service. Let's go with that. And as he's speeding, there are gypsies in town, and one of the elderly lady comes through and gets hit by the Halleck's car. She is killed, fatally splattered across the road. Yeah. Not this is kind of why you don't do that, Mrs. Halleck. But nonetheless, obviously there's a cop on the scene, breathalyzer tests are administered, and a court lawsuit is issued by one of the surviving family members of this lady. Particularly, it's by a very even older than her, man named Lemenke. I think it's Lemec. I'm not certain. I'm just gonna say Lemec for phonetic simplicity. And what ends up happening is he uses his connections as a wealthy lawyer to get off, mainly his cop friend, who was the one who pulled him over, and the judge who presided over the case. We kind of realize very quickly that William Billy Halleck is not really the protagonist of our story. He's more like the person we're just watching from a distance. We're there, kind of like a Percy Jackson dream. He doesn't know it. And we're just watching him as sort of a piece of shit he is, actually. It's said that Richard Bachman books are very cynical, and I can definitely see where that lies. Especially with this, piece of cynicism right here. It's a very cynical book about, people. But in any case, So, oh, I missed the joke about the joyride. Oh, nice. Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I had scripts I kind of read off loosely, if you couldn't guess. Alright. Now, the old man, Lemec, he goes up to, after the court proceeding, and, gets close. This is weird to me, right? Obviously, it's for the sake of the book, but like, who lets some? Because what happens is he gets up close and caresses, like, just caresses, Bill's cheek, saying, "Thinner." Yeah, he says thinner. If I don't know if the mic picked that one up, but like, who lets people get that close? Like, I know I'd be like, "Get the fuck away from me! What are you doing?" But of course, for the sake of the book, he has to get that close and do it. In any case, you see, just the scene after that, the gypsies are kind of being like, shoot off by the local law enforcement because no one really likes the gypsies, which I don't know, they seem like a fun party bunch to me. Even throughout history, like travel on the road, carnival, party, yeah, kind of seems kind of cool. They were the original hashtag van life, but the cynicism is ripe with this scene as well as you see, basically the whole of the place just not really want them there, even though they've really done nothing. And now this begins the section of the book where you start to realize maybe something's a bit wrong here with Billy, because Billy starts losing weight, uh, unexplainably, in kind of large amounts, and you know, out of nowhere, really, which leads him to believe that he might have gotten cancer. Um, yeah, I don't know. I thought of making something off the bat there, but I've already done that, haven't I? Um, yeah. So he goes to get cancer related tests, and they find nothing's out of the ordinary there. So he doesn't have cancer, at least not that they know. They've kind of ruled that out. But then he gets metabolic tests, and they also can't find something wrong with him. And the doctors are very sure that something is wrong, something happened, something they can't quite explain yet. And this, to me, kind of seems like a criticism of, or like an analysis of the Exorcist done by Ryan Hollinger, where he's like, when scientists, when science fails them because of the lack of knowledge, usually it's a very similar subject. I thought that was cool when I was writing this script. So in The Exorcist, part of it is that they find that they can't explain what's going on to the little girl, so they just basically resort to guessing in a very uneducated way because what they know can't help this. Similar to Billy Halleck's situation, right? And so Billy basically kind of goes hellbent insane because he wants to find Lamech and basically force him to take this whatever it is off of him. And in similar, much darker things are actually happening to his friends. They're the people he paid off basically, and so he basically tracks them down to Maine, and goes following them. And at this point, he's kind of been declared like, if his family and cops were to find him, they would have him forcibly committed because they think he's butt fucking insane. Given that he's rambling on about how gypsies cursed him after he killed one. Yeah, I like the little bit where this is the kind of Goosebumps disbelief, but not done shittily. Where it's like it's very reasonable when you grow up. Because when I read Goosebumps, I'm like, there's no parent that believes in any of this, not one. Now I'm older, I understand that. Like yeah, it is fucking crazy to assume these sorts of things. But even so, I would like a little variation of the Goosebumps books. Hashtag R.L. Stein, listen to me, please. Yeah, that's very shameful, sorry. F in the chat. But, yeah, I digress. I kind of ramble a bit in the sake of comedy. But, yeah, he goes and tracks him down, and at some point he experiences arrhythmia, which is a fancy little term for erratic heartbeat, a sign that he's losing so much weight, and at this point looking like a skeletal grotesque monster that scares off children and his own spawn, his daughter, that he enlists the help of Janelli. Now, Janelli is implied at first to have some dark dealings, more like kind of Goodfellas, I think is the movie with the horse head, yeah? Yeah, but he's that kind of fucking person. Now, because of the... Oh, sorry, somebody just appeared on my streaming platform. Okay. Um, so he calls Janelli. Janelli gives him that, kind of mom on the table doctor visit to give him some pills. And Janelli shows up and scopes out the area. Now, what proceeds, I will not go into too much, because it does involve animal cruelty. Yeah. And what happens is kind of like the horsehead scene in Goodfellas, mixed with the assassination of JFK, because with animal cruelty involved, he also takes shots at the gypsy camp. Yeah, they're kind of pieces of shit, not gonna lie. But, um, so finally, Lamech, says, okay, we'll talk. They basically call him this sort of moniker, which means the white man from town. And he never refers to him as Billy or Mr. Alec. But, and he's, they meet in like a park bench nearby. And he's only doing this so that they stop attacking them. That's the only reason why, because he fears for the safety of his fellow people. And this actually my favorite part in the book is this scene right here, because Lamech has like a box in his pants. It's about the size of, well, there's a pie in it. That's what I'm going to tell you. It's about, he doesn't know what's in it at the time. It's a pie in the box, strawberry to be specific. And he asks him, if he'll please reconsider, you know, just going hell bent to get the curse removed. And Billy, it's very nice. Just Billy says no, because he's mostly what's driving him is self-preservation. And he says no, I would like it off. And Lamech says, well, it's not really a curse. Curse is something you can see. What I've put on you is not able to be seen, but is very much alive. And you can only see what it does to you. Similar to what happened to his two friends. And, so he says, cool, get it off me. And the mech says, well, I can't exactly get it off you. I can't destroy it. I can, however, transfer it to this. And he takes out a knife, cuts William's hand, and then, puts the blood into the pie. That transfers the thing, I think it had a proper name in the book, into the pie. So implying that whoever eats it will now have the curse. And, Lamech just goes away and just absolutely resenting this man that he cursed and, threatened his, livelihood, basically. Now, William has a daughter, I think I mentioned that before, and during this entire book, he resents his wife very aggressively, very psychopathically, because he intends to feed the pie to her. Because apparently he feels like he should have, she should have been responsible for the car crash to begin with, because the digital service, but she never got anything, and so he intends to basically murder her with the pie. But he goes to sleep with the pie, on the counter or something, and he wakes up to his daughter and his wife eating the pie the next morning, basically saying, oh, my family's going to die, and there's nothing I can do about it. So he basically commits suicide by eating a piece of pie with them. And that's the end of the book. Now, one thing I really loved about this kind of book is, even though you're the one, Billy's the one you're following, it does well to paint him in a negative light. He's not a good guy by any means. And it shows, how gypsies were kind of treated. And how kind of greedy and selfish that, because instead of taking the L, for killing a person, regardless of what caused it, he was the one driving. He was, I think I remember him being a bit intoxicated as well. I don't think I mentioned that though. But in any case, he's also instead of just taking the L or explaining what actually happened, used his influence to get away of all involvement with the crime and only a slap on the wrist. Right? I think it was like points off his license or something. And that's really, kind of what tells you he's not that good of a person. It's kind of him who really brought it upon himself. And, the whole, parallel it actually has to the Exorcist movie, I thought was very nice. I loved it. And then, that's kind of Thin Air by Richard Bachman. And at some point I'll cover, The Regulators by Richard Bachman soon. Because, I recently read that one. And even Desperation, as soon as I get reading that, didn't read that one, but that one's like 600 pages long. Yeah, it's a big one. It's like a rotund boy. Right. Have a good day.